Hello everyone. In this tutorial we'll show how to connect the LoRa door sensor to the Withthegrid platform with KPN Things. So this is actual door sensor from Dragino that we will be implementing. We'll be starting with a configured connectivity environment and monitoring environment. So if you need more information on how to do this, you can look at our previous tutorials. We've actually already created a Dragino LDS01 device type. We have also configured the LDS01 door sensor, which is actually the report parser is almost identical to the leak detection sensor that we have already covered. The only difference in the decoder is that this address is set to 80 instead of 40. We've also created the new quantities that we will be required to have for storing all the information. And we've also set up the webhook for KPN Things, where we have a lookup table for the type of the sensor that is communicating. The important thing is that now we have an identifier to identify the Dragino LDS01, because if you have multiple devices, you want to distinguish between which device is communicating through the KPN Things. Next step is to set up the actual KPN Things configuration. For that, we will only need the webhook URL. First thing to set up in the KPN Things portal is to create a new destination. We can add a new destination, a HTTPS endpoint. We can give it a name, for example, Withthegrid test. We can use the base URL. And in the header, we will define the Withthegrid token, where we write the actual token that represents this webhook. And as we also mentioned, we will note the device type, which is in this case we gave an identifier Dragino LDS01 so that we can distinguish which type of device is communicating. You can keep all the other settings as they are. We actually have to set this shared secret, which you should store because when you set it once, you will not be able to retrieve it again. You can actually generate any 32 characters long sequence following all these instructions and all these requirements. So you will need a lowercase character digit and special character and uppercase character as well. After we've added the endpoint, the next step will be to create a new flow. We can add a flow, give it again a name. Let's call this flow Dragino LDS01, because we will be adding the sensors here. And we will link the destination that we have just created, which is Withthegrid test. You can confirm that this is the right destination. And now if we go back to the new flow that we have just created, we can configure data processing. And we need to first add our first device, so we can link a new device. For this tutorial, we are configuring our own LoRa device, which already has EMI, which already has all these information, and we only are interested in raw payload. We can give this device a name. We can add the device. And to continue, you need to set up the dev UI, app UI, and the app key, which is provided when you purchase the sensor. Finish. We can now power up the device, and we should be able to see it connecting to KPN Things. When we look at the LoRa data history, we can see that the device is already reporting and sending messages. Every time we move the two pieces apart, a payload is initiated. We can also confirm this in the activity in the Withthegrid platform. We can see that we are parsing the messages. We can see that we are recording the internal battery voltage and sending it to channel 1, where we are all actually monitoring the internal condition of the sensor. And we are also recording the door sensor status to see actually if it's open or closed, the total open door events, and the last door duration. We can come to our monitoring environment, and we can actually link the device. So as previously, we can get this claim token, copy it, and we can move the device to our monitoring environment. We can come to the location, and we can actually link this device. The device is 2 ports, therefore we have to add these ports. Now, if we move the 2 pieces and close it, we should be able to see this in the graphs. We come to the graphs and look at the last 5 minutes. We can see that the door was open and closed, and now the last instance it was closed. We can see the door duration was 0 minutes, and we can see that the total open door events are 9, and that the internal voltage of the battery. If we do this again, refresh, we can again see that the door opened and the door closed. We can see the last open duration did not change, and we can see that there was a new open door event and it has been recorded. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you very much and good luck.